There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. What is up, Crusher crew? It's actually really early in the morning. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to load up my e-bike on the truck, and I want to drive out into the desert and do a whole hike and ride up the canyon where there's all these ancient petroglyphs and the big red man pictograph. I haven't gone up there and seen that up Warner Valley. This is the land of the giants where all those giant petrified skulls are, the dinosaur tracks are, and all this cool stuff. And I think I found the back way through Warner Valley to get to all of that with my truck. But it's a super dusty road. There's a lot of sand and dust that kicks up. And the last couple of times I've gone out there, my bike in the back of my truck and everything has gotten totally caked with dirt. And so my friend Gabe actually hooked me up with this new product called Zeal Pro. That's actually an off-road bike, a mountain bike, and e-bike cover. Check this thing out. This thing is absolutely awesome. So we're gonna give it a try today. It's a bike cover that's gonna go over my e-bike on the back of my truck to keep it all protected from the rain, from the dust, and all that. We're gonna give it a shot today. So it has the bottom here, it has the top cover, and then it has the light kit that actually goes with it. That's really cool. And it has all these features for the lights to go in. It's all waterproof, keeps everything safe. So we're gonna give it a try. So as far as I understand it, you basically just put the bottom on the rack here. It's got these zippers. And once we have this on here, the bike just goes right on top of this. It's pretty easy. It has these slots already pre-sewn into it. So you just undo the zipper right here, and then the strap from your bike rack can go right through here, so it can go over the rear tire and lock that in. Okay, so that was actually pretty easy. Well, I mean, technically we've got it on there. That was pretty easy. I really like the material that this is made out of. I honestly feel like if you were in a pickle, you could probably crawl in this and use it for an emergency weather bag if you had to sleep in it overnight, if you didn't have a way to keep the rain off of you. I feel like you could totally do that. That was actually really easy. That honestly just slipped right over. That was super easy. And now literally we just zip the whole thing up together, bottom to top, just like this. Wow, check this out. I just noticed that these zippers overlap. So there's a second zipper right here, but the first zipper actually crosses over and then ends here, and then this one starts. So this whole thing is waterproof and weatherproof, where that's the reason I haven't bought any of these bike covers ever before, is because they've all got holes and vents all over in the bottom. The rain from your tires just like splashes all up over the bike. The dust gets in there and they're kind of like pointless, but this is actually gonna work. The whole light kit was super easy to install too. It has these Velcro pockets, so you just lift that up, slide the light in, run the cable over, plug it into your adapter, and then you've got tail lights and blinkers and everything on the back. So Zeal Pro, way to go. This is awesome. I'm excited. I've never bought one before because usually they've got holes in the bottom. There's slits in there for they say for the water to drain out, but really all it does is the rain and the water and everything flips up all over the bike. The mud and sand and everything gets in there. It's a whole mess. This is the first bike cover that I've seen that's actually authentically and genuinely like dust and waterproof, and I think is actually going to do the job. I just pulled forward and the taillights are working great, working in conjunction with the truck taillights, and they're actually on there. They just turned off, so very cool. Here in a minute we're going to be pulling off the paved road onto the dirt road. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but you guys know if you've gone mountain biking before, usually your bikes get trashed. They get covered with dirt and water and mud and everything on the drive there and the drive home, worse than when you're actually riding the bike. When you get out on the trail and you're riding down the trail, sometimes you get mud flipped up all over you, but usually before you even get to the trail, when you get on the dirt road or if you have to drive through the rain or the snow, your bike gets completely gobbed up and covered with mud and dirt and all that before you even ride and before you even get there, which is super annoying. So I'm really excited to give this Zeal Pro a shot and to take it up this dirt road, because usually every time I try to take my bike out here, I usually don't take especially my e-bike on this dirt road, because there's just so much sand and really fine powdery dust and everything that by the time you even get to the trailhead, the whole bike, the gears, the chain and everything are just caked with dirt and dust. And this way it's going to stay completely clean, and so as soon as I get to the trailhead, it's like I have a fresh bike without any problems. Beautiful day it's going to be, but I'll tell you what, this road is totally dusty. It's almost like it's covered in baby powder. The dust is so dry out here, and it is blowing up all over the back of the bike, so we'll see how it does back there. We'll see. Well, we made it. We're all the way here to the Warner Valley Trailhead at Fort Pierce, and up this canyon up here behind me is a whole bunch of petroglyphs. I'm a little bit torn right now because the whole point in coming out here today was to try out the Zeal Pro to bring the e-bike, but I've never actually gone on this trailhead before. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna unload the bike, we're gonna make an expedition, we're gonna try to go up the trail this way, and if we can get on the other side of the creek and make it up the canyon, we're gonna make it a long ways up there today, farther than I've made it in record-breaking time, because we're gonna have the e-bike. But if I get up here and the river or the creek is all full of mud or full of water and we actually can't cross it with the e-bike, then we're gonna have to load it back up and go. We're gonna try and have to do a bunch of this on foot today. So let's go ahead and unload the bike. We'll take off the Zeal Pro cover. It looks like it did an amazing job. It's totally covered with dust and dirt. All of that would be all over my bike right now if I didn't have the cover on. So awesome job, Zeal Pro. It worked amazing all the way out here. See what I mean? Just from driving out here, look at all this. That would all be all over my bike right now if I didn't have the dust cover on. How awesome. It worked great. Look at all that. It caught a ton. Now my bike is totally clean, and I get to go for a nice ride without having all that dirt and dust all over my bike at the very beginning. Totally clean. Look at that. That is freaking slick. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna go. We're just gonna leave the parking lot here and try to go up this trail. Let me adjust my camera here just a little bit. Now that I got my angle, so you guys can see where we're going here. There we go. And again, like I said, I've never been this way, so I have no idea how far we're gonna make it. But we need to eventually start heading to the west. We have to find a way to get down and across all of this. This actually looks pretty easy right here. That's just like a ledge. Okay, so let's find a way to get across this little creek, and then it looks like there's a trail on the other side here. And then another thing I got going for me is I got myself a new backpack, so I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, here's kind of a trail that goes down. This is just like a washout. But we're on a real adventure here. Okay, this looks like a trail we can try to follow. Let me tighten my camera up a little bit here. Okay, let's try that. Well, where is this gonna take us? It's like a motocross track. This is awesome. Definitely don't want to be going east though. We need to get across the creek here. Here we go. This looks like a good way over. Whoa, look at all these rocks. Cut through here. This is pretty rugged, but this looks like the way up. I think I'm gonna get off and walk it here so I don't pop a tire or bend a rim. But we're gonna have to try and go up there and go up there and get on the trail. And then to see the petroglyphs, we're actually gonna have to come back across the creek onto this side again. We made it. Okay. So we just hiked the bike all the way up this. Tell you what, I'm glad I've been working out going hiking and exercising every day, I feel way better right now. I really do. It's so beautiful out here. So far, so good. This whole trail is like a crazy BMX track. Ups and downs the whole way. It's like a motocross trail. It's all full of sand too. I know I need to get up on top, and there's a trail that cuts over. I'm not sure if we want to do that quite yet though. I keep looking around trying to decide where's the best way up. Let's just stay down here at the creek bottom on the little motocross track. Let me adjust my angle again here. I feel like you guys are still just looking at the dirt a lot. Ready? So far so good though. I got a couple of big Gatorades, about a half a gallon of water, some protein bars. Oh, this looks like a good way up. Protein bars. Holy shit, look at that. I gotta get off. The bike can't make it up this. I'm gonna have to walk it up now. Yeah, hello dragonfly. Dragonfly just buzzing along. Okay, here we go. We gotta walk this up the trail. Hey, I think we found the trailhead though. This is definitely the way. Oh, you guys just looking at the dirt the whole way? Holy crap. If I was on a regular motorcycle, I'd just fly right up this. The e-bike doesn't quite have the guts. But we've made it all this way out so far, and we're still at 99% battery. Uh-oh, there's a gate. I wonder if we have to stay on this side of the gate. Looks like there's a crossing right here for bikes. Okay, we figured it out. Onward. We found the way. Sweet. This is exciting. We're gonna be able to make it probably all the way out to the Red Man pictograph now, because I'm gonna just try to go straight there. We're gonna stay on this trail and go all the way there, and then we'll work our way back. And our bike is fresh and clean because we had the bike cover the whole way out. How awesome. What a perfect day. Holy crap, look at all of this crossing. A lot of getting off and hiking the bike up, because this trail is meant for motorcycles. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, this bike doesn't have the guts. There are e-bikes though that are definitely powerful enough. They would go right up this hill. But I think I'm a little bit heavy, even though I've been losing a lot of weight and getting in really good shape. I'm still pretty heavy for some of these e-bikes, you know what I mean? All right, okay, I'm gonna save my batteries. We made it. I don't know if you can see right over here on the hilltop. It's really hard for me to see in the camera and point out it. There it is, right there. See this little square box? That's Fort Pierce. That's an old fort that was set up here by the early settlers and soldiers to guard this canyon, but this entire canyon has petroglyph after petroglyph after petroglyph. And the last several times that I've come up here, I've stopped at all of the panels and filmed all the way up. I've stopped and filmed a bunch of stuff up the canyon up here. There's all these big, what look like fossilized dragon heads or lizard skulls and cool stuff, and there's petroglyphs all the way up here. But it's really hard for me to hike all the way out to get to the red man pictograph at the end. So what we want to try to do right now is we're just going to stay on this trail, go all the way to the end. We're going to go straight to the red man pictograph, and then we'll work our way back from there, and we'll see how we do. I don't know how we're going to cross the creek or the river to get back up there, but let's give it a shot. Now we're down in the canyon. It's a little bit cooler in the shade, which is nice. But the riding is still very technical and really interactive and fun. I'm having a great time. We're actually down kind of in the bottom of a riverbed here, driving up it. And we're making really good time flying up here. Looks like it's rained up here in the last few days, and so there's been some big puddles. But everything's dry right now. So far, so good. And this is a really fun trail. I'm having a great time today. Big rock. Big rocks. We're basically just riding up the middle of the river bottom here over all these boulders. Holy gosh. Oh, I'm gonna get off again. Here we go. Oh, I do not want to bang a rim and flatten a tire way out here. Have to walk my bike all the way back. You know what I mean? That would suck. Let's go. I actually feel like we're already pretty freaking close. Hang on. I think the red man's right up here. We're actually pretty darn close. Let's go this way a little bit. Follow this little motorcycle trail. I can actually see it up there. There it is. It's clear up there. I can see it. There's the red man. I can't believe we made it all the way out here this fast. This is amazing. Oh shit. I almost ate it right there. Spoke too soon, right? This trail has been so fun. I would love to bring Kyle out here, or to bring other people on e-bikes and do this. I think it would be really cool. Here in a second, I gotta find a way to cut over and ride over to that. Because believe it or not, we've already made it. Wow. This is so fun. Well, there's a fence on my right, so I got to find a spot now to cross the fence. There was a good spot right back there, actually. I might just, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's ditch our bike over here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hide the e-bike here in the trees. There we go. Okay, we're gonna stash the e-bike here behind the bushes. And then if I'm not mistaken, the pictograph is way up here. Can we see it? It's right up there underneath that ledge. The big flat square area. So we gotta cross under this fence, hike all the way up to the top up there, and then we'll make it. That'll be cool. There's not even any barbed wire on this fence. You basically just crawl right under it. But then now we're on the other side, and I gotta double check because I'm pretty sure it's right up there, but it could also be right over here if I'm overshooting it. So I'm a little bit tempted to backtrack and kind of look this way, but I also feel confident that it should be right up here. Cross the creek again. I'm really gonna have to remember the way back to the bike. I actually offloaded a bunch of my water. Let's go this way. So I took my water jug out. I took my like a little satchel that I had with a change of clothes. I took that out and some other different things. I didn't want to carry the weight. So I left a lot of that stuff back right at the bottom of the bike. Let's cross through here. This will work. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I don't want to get in the mud. Okay. I'll go right up through here. It's like a little game trail, like where the cows and the coyotes come through. Okay. That's up there. Pretty sure it's right up there. Let's go. It's been kind of cool having the new backpack, and I've found all my GoPros since moving into my new house and finally dug out all the batteries and got everything figured out for that. I also ordered a new Insta360 cam, like a really nice one that I can take on these hikes. So I plan on mounting the 360 camera onto my backpack and doing this so I can move the camera around and also upload full virtual reality experiences for you guys to be able to put on VR headsets and feel like you're actually right here doing the whole thing with me, which I think would be a really cool thing. So I've never come this way before. This is going to be really interesting, trying to find my way over and back, and hopefully when we go back I can use these landmarks and find the e-bike again to get out of here. But I think we'll be okay as long as we're careful and pay attention which way we cut across. Plus I'm wearing these toe shoes, so I can always just follow the Sasquatch footprints back across the creek here. But yeah, we skipped past a whole bunch of different petroglyphs to find our way out to this one, but this is my first time this year even coming to this site, so I'm really excited to see it again. I also got in such a hurry to get out here and got excited to get on the e-bike that I left my selfie stick in the truck. So my selfie stick and my tripod. So now I've got the GoPro. I have a backup GoPro in the backpack, and then I've got my cell phone. We're gonna walk the rest of the way up here. I'm just holding it handheld, and we'll get the best view that we can. But that's definitely it. We just gotta climb up the hill all the way up there. I'm excited to get up there right now because really it's still in the shade. And I want to see how the sun, it was just the summer solstice like a month ago. So I want to see how the sun and the shadow moves across this pictograph. See if it reveals anything interesting. Well, the e-bike is way back over there now. Other side of the canyon. Now on the top of this ridge right there where you see that flat panel still in the shade, there's some amazing petroglyphs up at the top of that. And then even the boulders down at the bottom in the valley. We'll have to go over there after we're done looking at the Red Man pictograph. But there's a lot of really cool petroglyphs even around there in the valley. But this whole valley right here is already full of artifacts. I know every time I come out here, I notice new things. The Red Man's right up there. He's literally just a painted red figure, shaman figure. Look, even down on the ground in the valley here, got flaking, tool making from hunters. So this could have been, this site could be anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000 years old, maybe even older, who knows. Now when I've come out here before, and usually when I do a lot of these different types of hikes, I just rush up to the pictograph or to the petroglyph. But now I'm a little bit more experienced, and I've learned to kind of follow these washouts, and you can look for artifacts, and you'll find pottery, you'll find arrowheads and flaking and tool making where the water kind of flows down and carries those artifacts. But I want to go up this way and kind of look through all these boulder piles as we go up and see if we can't find a bunch of that stuff on the way up. Almost every day I've been getting up in the morning and hiking up the mountain behind my house, and then going and doing a bunch of sets of bleachers at the local fairgrounds. There's a whole set of bleachers up there behind my house, and I've been doing that a lot. And then I go back to my garage and I lift weights for like an hour. I've been doing this almost every day and rotating it in a good schedule. And I'm also just started doing hormone replacement therapy, where I've just been prescribed testosterone and taking that. And on top of all this exercising and working out, this whole spiritual journey that I've been on, it's been absolutely amazing, turning my life around. Even just hiking up here and getting ready to go up there. I used to come up here and I'd just be like, and I'd be sucking wind and my heart would be pounding, I'd be dying. The heat would be getting to me. And now I'm just like having fun. And as I climb up, I'm climbing around the rocks. I'm able to look around everything, and I'm getting in a lot better shape. And so I'm going to be trying to work things out with the clinic and the company that I'm going to, where I do my hormone replacement therapy. Because even though I live here in southern Utah and it's a small community, there's actually people from all over the world and all over the country that come to this specific clinic that I have in my local community just a few miles away. So a lot of people have been coming to see Shell Med Spa and to go through that whole weight loss, fitness journey, life transformation journey, and to do the whole hormone replacement thing. So I'm interested to see how many of you are curious about that as well, because I might try to see if I can get some partnerships and some things that we could do with that as well. Watch out for rattlesnakes in the morning. What a view. So beautiful. Okay, we're doing good. There he is. I bet there's a bunch of artifacts right down here. If I look under this, it almost looks like a big head. Know what I'm saying? Doesn't this kind of look like a big head with an eye? Let's go look underneath it down here. I bet there's flaking and stuff all over down there. Because there's the red man's right up there underneath that ledge. And there's already flaking down in the valley below, so I bet there's stuff right there. Let's just drop back down and look real quick. Yeah, usually I've got my selfie stick. Look how this whole thing is just balanced on that little piece of rock right there. And it's all crumbling. That's crazy. I don't see anything up here. Not really any petroglyphs on the rock either here. Let's go look at the bottom, see what we find. This is definitely a whole shelter, like a pit cave here underneath the boulder. But I don't know. Yeah, look, here's flaking right by my toe. There's some artifacts. And I bet all down and around here. Look at that. I'm not gonna go in there. There could be pottery and other artifacts, but I usually don't climb in and disturb them. I just like to look. Well, I'm not really following a trail so much as I'm just sort of like climbing up, find my way up. But so far so good. We are climbing on up. And it's really beautiful. And I keep spotting little flakes and artifacts and things on the ground, but I also don't want to be out in the middle of the desert out here when it gets to be noon. It's supposed to get up to about 98 degrees today, so try to time everything in such a way that we can get in and out this morning before it gets too hot. So far so good. I feel great. I know it sounds like I'm probably breathing hard, but I feel like I'm just flying right up this hill. I feel good. We pretty much made it up. What a beautiful day. What an amazing view. Little Black Mountain petroglyphs are just over that way. Wow, what a cool spot. I need to find how to get on the dirt roads and come out from the other direction. It would be really cool just to park out here, right out here, and do CE5 stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, let's go. Wow, there he is. He's right there. Amazing. We made it. Wow. Wow. I can feel it. Ready? Here he is. The red man. Holy smokes. Okay, I'm going to switch to my other camera. That's what it feels like. Hike all the way up here. Here's the view. Stand here on these rocks and boulders. When you climb up here, you have to climb around, climb over all of this stuff here. But it's worth it. Amazing. We made it. We made it in record time today too. Usually I have to hike all day and it takes till the afternoon to get back out here. Right there, how amazing. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can take a good look, but this is our situation. I'm loving the new backpack. It's just like a big drop sack. You can put a bunch of cool stuff in, roll it up, and it cinches from the top. Look at this view. One thing I noticed is that I was talking about coming up here to try and check the lines and the shadows for the solstice, but look at this. You can see when the sun comes up, the sun actually makes the shadow come down, so the shadow cascades over the rock. And it would be really interesting to be up here right at sunrise or right at sunset to see how that plays back and forth with this line of the light and shadow going across this pictograph. See, so as the sun comes up, it goes higher and higher like this. And so the sun actually comes down lower and lower and lower like a wedge. And so here I'm not really showing the pictograph very well, but I would guess that it definitely has something to do with that. Man, it's really hard to film this one because as soon as you go to step back like you want to get a good angle of it, you feel like you're going to fall off of the ledge. But I imagine that this wedge of light somehow crosses over this character, or somehow maybe it stays all the way in the shade. I don't know. But notice, let's see, it's got 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 5 toes. It's got 5 fingers. But look at the head and the headdress. It's like got a big square on top. And then it has like almost horns or antlers going out to the sides. And then notice these dots over here. 1, 2 red dots. So the red dots, maybe this has to do with, it's supposed to be coming out of the wall. It could be where it's looking. If we turn around, it's actually looking at that other panel down below that has a whole bunch of charts on it and a bunch of cool stuff. But yeah, guys, we made it. This was the goal today. Come up here and see this guy. Just take it all in. I wish I had my selfie stick. Like almost over 4 years ago, when I first started doing this, when I first started exploring ancient ruins and sites, petroglyphs and pictographs, I honestly don't think there was very many people on YouTube and TikTok that were doing it very much. And now it's been kind of cool to watch over the years now. There's been a ton of different people that are now traveling all over the world. I know Desert Drifter, he passed away in a car accident, but I know that he was really inspired and went out and was exploring a lot of ancient ruins. And there's just been a ton of people that have gotten out and started exploring their own backyard and their own neighborhood. And I like to feel like I inspired a lot of that. Like I helped get a lot of people out there because people saw me doing it and they're like, look at this guy. He doesn't seem like he knows that much, and he doesn't seem like he's even in that great a shape or anything. And he's out finding all this cool stuff and doing all these cool things. And that's the vibe that I like. I love that whole energy of inspiring people to want to get out and try new things and to go explore new places. Like I probably lived in this community for about 5 years and didn't even know that this was here. My house was not that far into town over that way, and I had no idea that this was even up here. And now I come out here at least once or twice a year to hang out and meditate with the red man. But this is just a really cool experience to be able to come up here. So I'm just going to sit, I'm going to have a snack and drink some Gatorade, meditate a little bit and look around the valley and enjoy the view. We really don't know what a lot of this is about, if it had to do with the tribal leaders and they were just, you know, doing drawings of themselves. But, you know, when we talk to Roger and Colleen of the Re-Indigenizing Minds Project, they will say that this stuff has to do with the ancient trade routes. They would say this pictograph has to do with spiritual and magical symbols that have to do with portals that you connect to with meditation and consciousness. And then as you connect to these doorways through like prayer, through meditation, and through having good intentions. The idea is you come and sit up here and you connect with the ancestors of the spirit people, the ancient people that used to dwell in this canyon and live here. If there is no past and there is no future and time is an illusion, then where I'm standing right now and where we're at right now is all still connected to those people. And that includes those ancient stories and the legends of the star people that came down from the sky, you know, people that came out from other dimensions or spirit worlds or from the underworld, the stories of the giants, the Siteka, and even the legends of the ant people. There's legends and stories of ant people that the Native Americans talk about that came down from the sky on silver feathers. And they came down and landed on silver feathers. And then the ant people got out of these silver feathers. And the ant people also came out from the underworld, from caves out of the Grand Canyon and from out of these regions, which is all just right over there. So the Grand Canyon is just like about an hour and a half that way over the mountains. And so, you know, over the mesas. So who knows, you know, 30,000 years ago, back in the day, during the Ice Age, there was mastodons, woolly mammoths, giant sloths. There was saber-toothed lions and saber-toothed cats that lived here and roamed here. And then if you go back 94 million years ago, this was all underwater. This whole valley was underwater. And then you've got dinosaur footprints and dinosaur tracks everywhere. So who knows, you know. These pictographs and these petroglyphs that go up and down these canyons, you know, they definitely say one thing. There was people living here for thousands of years before Christopher Columbus showed up, right? For thousands of years, there's always been people living here. It's amazing. I love this one. He's probably a good 3.5 or 4 feet tall. And the way that their body is shaped is really unusual, but it could be like, imagine like a tunic if you were wearing like a poncho or a blanket. But who knows, everywhere I go, you see characters like this, and they'll have big horns and antlers coming off. They'll have big spirals and stuff coming off of their hands and their arms. This guy's got short little stubby arms. Like, see, why does he doesn't even have any like elbows. He doesn't have any long legs or knees. He's just like these little, like E.T. phone home or something. Like a little goblin or some little hobbit thing. Almost like Dobby from Harry Potter or something, right? It's pretty wild. But these are old and old. Who knows how old they are. They're attributed to the Fremont culture, which would be anywhere from 300 to 600 years ago, but they could be anywhere from 300 years to 3,000 to 30,000 years old. I really don't know. And they've been protected up here out of the weather for a long, long time. You know, I could lie to you right now, and I could pretend like I want to sit up here all day and meditate with the red man pictograph, but I'm running out of shade. As the sun comes up higher, it's falling right along this ridge and going to cook me out. So it's just going to get hotter and hotter until it's 9,800 degrees today. So I'm going to start hiking my way back down, try and find the e-bike, and we'll see if we can't start making our way back out. If I get there in time, maybe we'll go over and look at some of these petroglyphs on the boulders down below there. Just wanted to come over here and look on the ground and kind of back up in this crack a little bit. I know I've hiked all around up there before and looked. Haven't found anything else, but a lot of the time when I come up here, I like to look around and see if I see anything new that I didn't notice, because a lot of times when I come back to these spots, there's stuff that I miss every time. And it's kind of cool. I remember to get the GoPros ready and rig them up so it's a little bit more first person mode. You get to see what it's like. I'm super stoked to get the 360 camera. Here's some red right here, see? I've never really noticed this. And there's a little mark right here. Nothing else really significant. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I sat up here for quite a while, just meditating and hanging out with this guy. What a special place. There's like little dots right next to his fingers and stuff too, I notice. His headdress is so unique. Just like a big triangle. It's interesting. I don't know. Okay. Now we're gonna hike back out. I'm gonna try and let you guys see what it's like for me looking down here to climb my way out of here. There we go. And there's nothing even up here either, but boy, you can sure feel it when you get close. You would think that there'd be a whole bunch up here, and they're just not. They just pick very specific spots. It makes me wonder if that one is facing that way to look down where that whole map is. It's like a whole chart down there. Let's see if we can get over there and take a look at it before we call it a day. We still got a lot of daytime left, and so far the batteries are doing fine, holding up. But yeah, it'll be fun when I get the 360 camera, because then I don't have to worry about which way the camera's pointed. Like right now, I'm like, can you guys even see anything that I'm doing, or can you even tell how steep it is right now? It's like going down a ladder, right? Yeah, with the 360 camera, it just films everything all the way around, and then I can come back later and decide which way that I want to point the camera in the editing. It's funny, when I've been trying to get in shape and exercising, the only problem that I've been having is with my left leg, with my calf muscle here. I have a big cramp that keeps pulling up in the bottom of my back of my leg, and it always happens when I'm going downhill. It's not when I'm going uphill. It's like when I step down like that, then all of a sudden my calf muscle will pull out really bad. But today I feel great. I haven't had any problems. I've been taking care of it, and I feel really good. I'm literally following my own footsteps all the way back down the same way that I came up. Pretty much exactly the same way I came up. Well, I got caught in the sun. It's now 11 o'clock and I'm sweating like crazy. The sun is straight overhead, but I brought a change, and I have a solar reflective shirt that even has a hood that I can pull over my head. So I just find a spot, get in the shade. have a change of clothes, and this will keep me out of the sun a lot cooler, right? But yeah, I was pulled back and my shirt is soaked with sweat. But yeah, so far everything is going good today. Having a lot of success. Finishing off the last of my Gatorade right now, and then we're going to cross the valley, get back to the e-bike, and go up and see if we can see some of those petroglyphs around the bottom of the valley down there. That'll be cool. This is where we're at right now, parked in the shade. We're just going to follow this little path down. Looks like a good way down. What a beautiful spot. We're gonna have to come back up this canyon, you guys. Next time we come back up, we'll see, maybe we'll just hike up the traditional way and come back up all the petroglyphs and see how many that we can spot. Now that I'm feeling in a lot better shape, it'll be a lot easier for me to get up to where those are, because some of them I probably skipped because I just wasn't physically capable over the last couple of years, but now not a problem. I can just climb right up to all of them. I feel like I'm in great shape, and we're gonna have all the new camera equipment and got the GoPros going, so we're having a fun time. Hey, look, someone wearing the same shoes as me came through here. Just kidding, that's me. We're on the trail. We're gonna make it. Look at this. I might be mistaken here. That is heavy. I think this is a meteorite. I don't have a magnet. This is so heavy. This feels like a meteorite. It is just laying right here on the ground. Look at that pretty rock too. It's like a big chunk of white quartz right there. Look at that. This feels so heavy. Look how shiny that is. See? I think that's a meteorite. I want to test this with a magnet. See if it's magnetic or not. That thing feels like a meteorite. I mean, there is other rocks around that look similar. Is this part of it? Oh crap, that's heavy too. But that doesn't look like a meteorite. Could be the same stuff here, right? Sort of looks like it. Maybe not. Oh, it sure feels like it. I've been following this little runoff, this little washout the whole way. And the whole way down, there's just been a lot of this. Just tons of tool making, indigenous artifacts, just all over the valley floor out here. Really amazing. And I've just been following this down like this, where the runoff is, and then where it washes stuff up on the sides after the rain. It leaves all kinds of little artifacts and stuff, but really, I I'm also trying to cut over because I know that big dead tree up there was my marker for crossing the creek and where I crossed over. So I'm trying to head back that way too. I can't hardly get there though, because look, see? This is all flaking from indigenous people, probably thousands of years ago here, making spearheads and arrowheads for arrows and atlatls. Just all over the ground out here. Beneath the red man's right up there. And the other petroglyphs are up there. The e-bike is right, like over there behind one of those bushes, like right there somewhere. We'll find it. But yeah, I haven't really taken the time to explore down in here, but there could be whole spearheads and tools and artifacts just laying in the valley that people don't really come out here and walk around and look for. But I'm seeing it all over the place. There's the bike. We found a little bit of a different way back, but it's not like it was hard to find. Here's a good spot. We're just gonna cross under. All right, back on the road. How cool. I'm so glad I put this reflective shirt on. It's keeping all that baking sun off of me. I actually feel nice and cool, even though it's probably getting up over 90 now. Here's the bike. Here's all my water. All right. This is probably hard to believe. I don't know if you can see that, but it says the battery on this e-bike is still at 99%. So we rode all the way out here and we barely used 1% of the battery life on this e-bike. That's so crazy. The amount of range and how much ground you can cover and what you can actually do when you just kind of upgrade some of your equipment just a little bit is amazing. So it's awesome to be able to ride this out here and have it be completely clean, full of battery, ready to go. So let's go out here and check out these other petroglyphs a little bit further up the trail. They're not that far. We actually have to go up to the left, and I don't even know if the trail goes up there. We might have to go on foot if we're gonna get the rest of the way, because we've already overshot where they are. Let's just see where this little motorcycle trail takes us. Yeah, see, we need to be clear up on top of there, the other way. There's not really a trail to get up there on the e-bike. So let's just run up this wash, take a look real quick. We made it. And look at this. As soon as I got up here, this is where everybody drives their UTVs and stuff through. And I look down and I see tool making and tool making. Look at this big flake right here. This is all tool making. This is pottery. Hey, oh, that's pottery right there. Let's see. Wow. All over the ground here is actual tool making signs everywhere. And it does look like potsherds and flaking. Look at all this. This is like a total indigenous dwelling site. There's pottery and artifacts all over the ground. All over the ground. This is all flaking. See? Wow. I mean, there could be whole spearheads and arrowheads just laying right here in the dirt. Crazy. Look at all that. And then you come up here to the base. Yeah, this is all flaking everywhere on the ground. All this colorful rocks is all indigenous people making tools right here. Holy smokes. And then look, these little boulders are all like little cubby holes and shelters. And we come around the backside and there's really, really old petroglyph carvings. And again, tons and tons of tool making all over the ground. See? Look, this one's even notched out like it has a hole drilled in it. See? Crazy. Petroglyphs. Petroglyphs and artifacts all around these boulders up here. What a cool day. I know that these ones over here definitely have more. See, these are very, very old. very old petroglyphs. And they all point, because up on one of these panels up here is like a whole crazy glyph that looks like almost like computer code. Here's more on the back side here. See the lines? It's really hard to see in the light right now. It's almost straight. It's like 11:30 going on noon, 12 o'clock noon. It's starting to get hot. If I stay out here too long, I'm gonna end up pounding through my Gatorade. I think I've drank about half of my water, so we're doing good. Yeah, see there's carvings even all on the backside there. Amazing. Okay guys, I'm so excited. I didn't bring my selfie stick or my drone. I just fit what I could in the backpack and went for it. See, look. See this? And then look at that. There's people driving over top of it. It's like a whole dwelling site with busted up pieces of tools where they sat here like a village and made arrowheads to go hunt up the canyon. There's so much all over the ground. It's crazy. But yeah, there's the red man, and these boulders are all covered. Come up and look at this whole big glyph. How cool that is. Wow. Look at that symbol. It's almost like a big Zuni symbol or sun symbol. And look at how the whole boulder is carved like it has this whole line going around, see? Look at that. This line coming around. Carved all the way around the base. See? The whole thing. I've never noticed this before. See? Wow, that's definitely pecked out too. They did that on purpose. Oh, wow. It keeps going. Look. What the heck? There's a line around the whole thing. Wow, that's old too. And look at all this. There's a big spiral right here. And here. And all these other lines. Look at all this tool making. Crazy. Wow. How cool. What a special day. Right? It's really fun bringing you all up here. trying out new products and things, seeing what we like. What a cool day for being so hot. Okay, we did it. Now we just ride the trail back out. It's really hot now. It's the middle of the day, noon. We made it all the way to the end of the trail, made it to the red mat, went and hiked around those boulders. I never noticed that whole stripe going all the way around that whole thing, and I just realized that I have to put it on too. That's okay. It's freaking hot right now. It's pushing up around 100 degrees, I think. So I'm gonna finish off this Gatorade, and we're gonna ride our way back to the truck. Made it all the way back to the car wash, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I really like the Zeal Pro. It made the bike way clean. Look at all the dirt on this. So I brought it to the car wash. I'm gonna spray it off here, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put the link down in the description box below. I'm gonna add it to my link tree so you guys can go find this product, the Zeal Pro, and I hope you go and get one of them for yourself and use the code CRUSHER to get 10% off of any of the bike covers that you can see in the store. So go check out Zeal Pro, look in the description box for the link, and make sure to use the code CRUSHER to get 10% off on your Zeal Pro. And if you go buy a couple, it might make me have a permanent position or like a sales position with this company, because I really like them. It's a family-owned business, and I want to keep working with them and do more. Every year there's different companies that send me free e-bikes, and I love to film these kinds of videos, and so I would love to have your guys' support on this. So please check out the links and go follow Zeal Pro on Instagram and everywhere else.